Welcome again, everybody. WLCSports.com. Time to talk with yet another Student Athlete of the Week in the Northern Athletics Collegiate Conference for the third time this year. And for the sixth time in his career, Ryan Broeckel takes home the Men's Basketball Player of the Week award in the NACC. Congratulations, Ryan. Congratulations because it was the last week of the regular season. It ended, thanks to some help from the Marion Sabres, with an outright NACC championship. But your numbers, always like to do this, make sure we give you kudos. 22 points per game, 18 rebounds per game, and wins over Edgewood and Lakeland, including 21 rebounds, a career high against Edgewood. Man, going out with a bang to close the regular season, I think would be a good way of describing it. How was the week that was for you personally and for the squad? Obviously ended on a really high note.
Yeah, it was a really good end of the week. It's always nice winning the last couple games of the year, and we were able to finish, I think, the last handful for sure with wins, which was nice. 7 wins to end the season. And that was huge because we knew that if we wanted at least a share of conference, we had to win out. We got a couple nice breaks with losses with St. Norbert. So yeah, just getting that number 1 seed, that was huge for us. We had it last year. We were preseason number 1. So that was pretty cool. For me personally, it was a pretty good week offensively. The shooting percentage wasn't great, but I got a lot of the misses. Everyone was kind of saying I was stat padding a little bit, but that wasn't the case, I promise. But
what was pretty cool is, and we were just talking about it right before we started taping, the season finale at Lakeland allowed for a rather healthy Ryan Broeckel contingent of fans and friends and family and supporters to show up. Would you say about 35, 40 or so?
Yeah, it was. People joked that it was the whole town of Chilton, but it was really cool. My whole family came out, extended family, friends, cousins. It was really cool to see. I've been blessed with, a wide variety of people coming to my games, whether it's family, friends, whether it's old teachers, old coaches. My parents maybe have missed one game in my career. They'll travel all over the country. I think we might be going to San Antonio next year. They're already booking a trip.
I'm glad you brought that up because you and I have talked, like I say now, this is the third time you've won this award, third time you and I have spoken like this. And what's really cool is, and you're not alone, we have a lot of student athletes here in all the different sports whose parents, wherever they live, are loyal enough to, and able to travel and whatnot, schedules allow. And your parents, every game except maybe one, I think we said, pretty much since you've become a regular in the lineup, they're everywhere. And it's not a short drive, right? It's about 90 minutes or so just to get here to Milwaukee from Chilton, let alone all the other road games. But that's really special, I imagine, for you to look up and to always know they're there. Yeah,
that's one of the main reasons I play is my family. My parents didn't get the opportunities that I was able to get. They've set me up on a pretty good path. So me and my siblings just try and do everything that we can to honor them, honor their name. It's just really special that they're able to watch me as much as they can.
And as I have witnessed, you take time out after the game. It's not like you just blow mom a kiss and wave to dad and see you on Saturday, see you at the next game. Yeah. I mean, you guys have a good lengthy conversation after every game, just to kind of catch up, I imagine, or is your dad and mom grilling you about your performances?
No, usually my dad will say something about the free throws if I have a bad free throw game. I remember there was one game I had a pretty good game, and I missed a couple of free throws, and first thing he says, man, you would have had X amount of points if you just made all your free throws. I'm like, all right, Dad. It's all love, though. He's joking for the most part, but it's like I said, it's really awesome to look up and see them there. Whether it's just the 4 in the family, the significant others of my siblings, or just the whole crowd, like at Marion, it seemed like.
Well,
or Lakeland, I mean.
Yeah, let's talk about that Lakeland game because you guys won it handily, we'll say, but because of what went on in Fond du Lac, just a few minutes before you tipped off there in suburban Sheboygan, as we like to say. With the loss of St. Norbert to a 4-win Marion team on the last day of the regular season, you guys win the conference outright. You'll be the number 1 seed for the tournament. So take me through that afternoon because they started about a couple hours before you guys started. Were you able to track that Marion-St. Norbert game before the tip-off, and how did things unfold there for the Warriors in the locker room before tip?
Yeah, so we had we only had a 30-minute warm-up because there was a game before our game. The girls at Lakeland played. But because of that, it allowed a lot of the guys to kind of tune in to the game pretty intensely. I was just trying to focus on warming up, getting my knee ready, getting my back ready, because it feels like I'm an old man now. But there was a lot of guys watching the game. The coaches were kind of tracking a little bit. I knew, it didn't really matter as long as we take care of business. We'll be in a good spot. And then about 10 minutes before our game, our warm-up started, we kind of saw the final score and we're like, all right, we kind of gave each other congratulations and a lot of hugs. But we figured, we already got this gift, let's do something with it, and we went out and won.
I was going to say, it's worth pointing out that all that happens, and then you need to win to enjoy the championship, not sharing the championship, and then you obviously took care of business there with the Muskies. Okay, so as we sit here, conference tournament week, big week, obviously, for the men's basketball program, trying to get back to the NCAA tournament for the first time in over 15 years. Pressure, anxiety, is it just continue doing what we've been doing? Like, how would you describe the emotions right now in the day or two leading up to the tournament?
I think it's everything.
Yeah?
I think it's all the above. I think everyone kind of has their own way of dealing with it. For me, it's a little bit different this year than last year because we don't have that bye. Last year there's only 6 teams that made it. This year there's 8. So that's just a little bit different. There's one more opportunity for us to potentially slip up. So we just got to be really intentional with practice. We only get 1 day this year with today's practice, going into the game tomorrow on Tuesday. So just doing the best we can. Try to stay mentally focused. Locking on the scout.
Which I will just interject and say, you guys have been focused all year.
Yes.
Whether it's been you or any of the other handful of leaders and veterans and 1,000-point scores. I mean, you guys, in a word, have been driven. Yes. And a lot of that came from how last year ended. I recognize that.
Definitely.
But you guys, in a word, have been driven from the jump this year.
Yeah. With how last year ended, we knew we had all the pieces coming back, for the most part, that we had the talent to get to where we want to be. It's just actually doing it, and we're 21-4 right now. I mean, we've kind of proven that we can do that. We beat 2 WEAC teams. We've had a really solid year, and really it could have been a couple more wins. Even we let some slip away in the last couple minutes of the games, but just extremely blessed with how the season's been so far, and just focusing on 1 day at a time, 1 game at a time. It's really easy to look ahead at that, potential conference championship game, like where we made it last year, but we also have to win 2 games to get there. And I think that's even more important, because there's upsets, every game it seems like in the NACC, with a big one, obviously, last game with St. Norbert. So just not taking anyone lightly, focusing in, and like you said, staying driven. And
we should mention this, with 21 wins and counting, hopefully, most wins ever in the NCAA era of Warriors men's basketball, and that's saying quite a bit. The quarterfinal round of the tournament starts Tuesday night, depending when you're watching this, Tuesday night, 7 o'clock, and being the number 1 seed, the championship is going to run through the Rex, 7 o'clock against Aurora, the Spartans. That's the 8 versus the 1 Warrior matchup. Okay, Ryan, before we let you go, you got practice and preparation to get ready for. Before we go, we'll have some fun. I have 2 cards. I will ask you the questions on that card. Which are they going to be? All right. The category is school.
Oh, boy.
All right. The class, remember the first answer that comes to mind, the class you would retake just for fun, if you could.
Oh, I don't know if there is one.
Oh.
No, that's a tough one. I would actually go back to high school. I really enjoyed calculus class. Yeah, I know.
What?
The teacher did a really good job, so it made it a
Sure.
little bit easier than what some people. We had a really good teacher, but all my friends were in that class, so
Okay.
that kind of helped out a little bit.
Ryan Broeckel retaking calculus
Yeah.
just for fun.
Yeah.
Number 2, the gym class activity, and you're an athlete, so this could be interesting. The gym class activity you feared or hated the most.
Ooh. They were all. Oh, actually, rollerblading.
Can't skate?
Not very good.
Okay.
I'm tall. Plus my siblings broke both their arms.
Oh.
Broken arm each doing it. So
Intimidating.
yeah, my mom was not ready for that.
Your best study tip or tactic when it comes to final exams?
Know yourself, because
What do you mean?
some people need to study for hours and hours and hours. Some people need to study, for 1 hour, take a break, 1 hour, take a break. What works for other people that you might be studying with might not also work for you.
That's really good. That's really good. Better to have a Friday without classes, 3-day weekend, or a Monday without classes, and it's a 3-day weekend in the other direction?
Friday without classes.
Okay. All right. The teacher that has impacted you the most in your life at any level?
Yeah, I would say my business teacher in high school. She actually came to the Edgewood game. Her and her family did, so that was pretty cool. But
Give her a shout out?
Yeah, Mrs. Main. Shout out Mrs. Main. She was awesome. She helped me with FBLA, Future Business Leaders of America. I was the president of that in high school, so she was the advisor. So shout out to Mrs. Main.
Very good. And last but not least, your wild card question is, how would you fix, Ryan Broeckel, the NBA All-Star Game, which has turned into a travesty?
Yeah.
Or a tweak or
That's
something?
a good question, because I don't know if there is really anything, but I think they're trying all sorts of stuff. I don't really know if it's working, but I don't know. People are driven by money, so
Pay them.
Yeah.
Or have a financial. Oh, that's fine.
That's I don't know. That's my best guess. But
Hey,
it's not like they're not already making millions and millions.
Still,
but-
you want to motivate people? Put a little of this on the line.
Right, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. They might do that. I've actually heard that talked about today as a possibility. So you might be onto something.
Or each player gives out something to charity, or picks a charity, and then they do it towards that. So that way they're not playing for themselves, because they already have a ton of money. They're doing it for a good cause.
That's good too. Warriors start the trek for an NCAA tournament berth with the quarterfinal matchup Tuesday night, 7 o'clock, here at the Rex against the Aurora Spartans, and we hope to see you here. Ryan Broeckel will be there. Keep it rolling, my friend.
Yes, sir.
Now it gets really interesting the
Yes, it
rest of
does.
the way. Thanks for watching, everybody.